don't follow trends. Take that with my chest. I will not bend. Run it up. 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 Run it up.
I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to.
From the home of the 12s, they raised the banner just a moment ago. We are set for football at Lumen Field here a mile south of downtown Seattle. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Seattle Seahawks. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. And with the play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. 1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They start the drive here with Gainwell. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. They go play action with Hurts. And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Young to throw it. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are on the board first here this afternoon. Myers connects on the PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start. It's certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because, to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. And the slot man goes in motion left. Right back to him on first down. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
One thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. On the counter, it's Gainwell. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up. And the Seahawks had a couple of extra DBs going with the dime look here.
Indeed, 6 on the field. Hurts sets up to throw it. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Young to throw it. Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. The Seahawks at 4-3, a game over 500. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. And I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
And Young's throw there incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 25 yards that time.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
Now Young. Throw out wide to Walker. Touchdown, Seahawks. Kenneth Walker A 5-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And they'll begin on the ground with Gainwell. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up third and about 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third. Hurts fumbles it. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they are over 500 for the season, 4-3. They got back above 500 with a victory last week. And, Charles, you think this is a very important week for them, do you not?
I certainly do, because when you start to do the math, and yes, I'm using my fingers to count. If you're 4-4 at the midway point, let's say you're saying 10 wins is your cutoff line for a playoff berth. It's usually right around that number. A loss here, all of a sudden you've got to go 6-2 down the stretch just to reach 10 wins. That means this game is vital.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Still second quarter, you get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a third and long. Seahawks. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick-6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick-6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get it as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
And we often talk about defensive ends setting the edge, sometimes even the outside linebackers. But how about here? This is a cornerback essentially setting the edge and finishing off that play for a loss.
Here's Hurts to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it, and the Seahawks will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him, and that's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
And this is caught. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Well, partner, I mean, if anybody was still questioning whether or not he had an NFL-caliber arm, I think you can toss that right out the window. That was a heck of a throw right there.
I would agree totally. Question it? This rookie, big-time throw right there. Great poise, stepped up, trusted he could lay it in there perfectly, and he knew that his guy was going to make the catch on the other end. Nice collaboration.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Play action. Here's Hurts. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Darrell Taylor got in there to drop him. And he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. On play action, Young. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Seahawks are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Myers connects on the PAT. And that makes this 35-0 now. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. On 1st and 10, it's Gainwell. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. He's going to look deep for Watkins. Then his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the ball.
And this is caught. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. DK Metcalf on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And it is 42-0. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with the defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, he pulled it and got good yardage himself.
And this is caught. That's Watkins. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they're set up in a golden position here right around the 10-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, All the receivers in their patterns is going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football.
Open man, he's got him. That's Smith for the Philadelphia touchdown. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Eagles are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points. Elliott good on the extra point, so they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. Young's throw caught here by Metcalf. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. A play fake. Now Young. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Third and short yardage, Young. He'll find Metcalf. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
No surprise they decided to throw on third down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Hurts. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing is Hurts. And this will be caught by Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play that time on the catch and run. 36 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, a give to Gainwell. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Back to Gainwell here on 2nd down. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun, it's Hurts. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
But they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. And my goodness, another interception. Tariq Woolen picks it. And he will take this This one home. It's a touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
They're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with second and a couple. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Smith catches left side. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Here we go.
From the gun, here's a run by Gainwell. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something to be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. He'll drop to throw. Over the middle here to Brown. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 16. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. They'll look to throw here. He'll check this one down to Gainwell. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. Hurts sets up to throw it. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Seahawks are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I...
Well, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
Looking to throw on second down. Hurts.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception.
And the Seahawks are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
From the 27, Young.
That completes it again to Metcalf.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
Young's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Off the play fake, Young. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
To throw again on second down, Young. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 32-yard line. To the air once more, Young. He hits his target, Lockett.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Young on first down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's second down. Young.
He completes this to Walker.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. Out of the gun, it's Young. This is caught, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Another touchdown through the air for them, and for this rookie quarterback at the helm, he has put them in a great position, Charles, to get the victory in this one.
He's absolutely taken charge. Every touchdown for them has come via his arm. 0 rushing touchdowns, no special teams, no defensive scores. All him throwing the football. He's in cruise control right now, and so is his team.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Hurts. And this is caught by Watkins. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. And Young's going to throw it here. That is caught at the 7. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Young will set to throw. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. That's big Jordan Davis powering in to drop him.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Now Young on 4th down. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.